At the beginning of the film, we are shown a desolate world. Many people in the world have died due to a pandemic. The infection that eliminated humans had no effect on the animals. Now there was no traffic on the roads, factories were closed. Due to the absence of pollution for a long time, nature brought the earth back to life. Greenery was spreading everywhere. That's why the animals were living very comfortably in this environment. But now those who know survival are alive. One of the few people we see is Eddie. He lived with his mom since childhood. But due to the pandemic, his mom also died, and he was able to survive because his uncle used to send him survival books since childhood. And because of those books, Eddie is able to survive today. He no longer lives in his house because his house has become a mess. Not just his house. Everything here has become so bad. Small bunker outside his house. He has some food and drinks, but it won't last long. That's why he goes to the surrounding area every day to find food and necessities. And during this work, it has become common for him to find dead bodies in the houses. Eddie is also a lonely person living in his area, and he has searched his entire area. In his area, the things he needs have now run out. He only has a cycle. He doesn't want to go far because he is afraid that if he finds a person when he goes far, maybe he will starve and eliminate him. Poor Eddie was very bored with his life. He couldn't even run his mobile to pass the time because there was no electricity in the world. He had all the books he had, but he does gardening to pass his time. After a lot of hard work, he was able to grow some vegetables, and that's why he was very happy. At night, he lies under the moon, and suddenly he hears some strange sounds. He goes back to his bunker in fear. In the morning, as per routine, he took his cycle and went out in search of necessary things. He found a small solar panel on the roof of a house. He brought it home and charged his phone with it. After charging the phone, he listens to songs and enjoys as much as he could. After that, he watches his mom's video on the phone and gets very sad. He was watching his mom after a long time, but still couldn't talk to her. He watches these videos until his phone turns off. After that, he goes back to the garden and finds out that his mom had died, and those animals had destroyed all the vegetables he had grown. After seeing all this, he does not understand anything. All his hopes were now over. He now collects the seeds of these vegetables. He could have grown vegetables again from them, but again waiting for so long to eat. This thought makes him very angry, and in anger he hits the axe on his own feet. He could have died. That's why he takes out some of his survival books and makes medicine for himself and puts it on his wound. At night, he looks at his uncle and aunt's photo and thinks that they must be alive too. I have come to survive because of them, and they must be surviving so well. He now thinks that why don't I go to them too? Such a life may be a little easier, but it was difficult to do this through a cycle. He decides a route by following which he will reach his uncle's house, which can take 2 weeks if everything goes well. This night was now very difficult for him because he had to leave his house where he had collected a lot of things. Anyway, he leaves the next morning. He used to ride a cycle from morning to evening. At night, he used to sleep in a tank, and he was using the things he had to eat on the road. And the good thing was that if Eddie found a building on the way, then some things would be arranged from there too. Everything was fine for a week, but one night when he wakes up, he sees that the deer has ruined all his water. In addition, his solar charger has also been broken by the deer, with the help of which he was able to charge his phone. Seeing this, he gets so angry that he shoots all his pistol bullets in vain, after which he regrets a lot that what he did. He kept moving forward and found a river on the way, seeing which he is very happy because the water was arranged again. After collecting water, he left from there and climbed a rough road. He was riding a cycle very fast. Suddenly his cycle falls into a pit.